Hello, my name is Tim Dwarnacek.
And I'm his twin brother, Tom Dwarnacek. We are co-founders of BITA, better known as Bringing Israel to America, and Integrative Counseling Services. We've just gotten involved in Chesterton, Indiana, March 1st of 2014, and we wanted to do this little presentation to introduce ourselves and let you know about a very unique way that we're working with people to help people get better quicker. A technique or a model that really I haven't seen anybody using in our area in a long time. So so it's a very refreshing way. People get this model. So we're going to talk about how it can affect addictions and people in general, whether you're in relationships, a male struggling, a woman struggling, of understanding this refreshing new way of looking at the human psyche.
We have been open in Lake County, Indiana since 1992 as substance abuse and mental health providers. I myself have been working with addicts and alcoholics since 1984.
And I got in the mental health field doing a private practice in 1981. So between the two of us, we're sitting on about 63 years
Of
combined.
experience.
Yeah. We're also sitting on nearly 60 years of continuous, uninterrupted sobriety. So when we do work with addictions, we understand where they're coming from. We personally, both of us struggled with that, but we know how to maintain sobriety, and we think this model that we've developed is going to increase the chances of people staying sober or away from what they don't want to get back into.
So our program is set up where our fees are $40 per individual session. We are at the stage in our life where we're just trying to help people. Making a living is important. I'm not Pollyanna about that, but we only charge $40 for an individual counseling session.
Yeah, and that's unheard of in most parts of, both Illinois and Indiana, especially Illinois. There's two sections to what we're doing in our business. The first one is BITA, Bringing Israel to America. That is a spiritually based program teaching people how to live their lives more consciously with awareness.
BITA has a website. The BITA website is bringingisraeltoamerica.com. That's all lowercase letters with no spaces. That could give you a little more of an introduction into our BITA program. The other program that we have, then we've been facilitating integrative counseling services since 1992 in Highland, Indiana. What we do with our integrative counseling into substance abuse, we have a motto. It's individual, personalized treatment. We don't do groups. All of our work is done individually so that we can give 100% attention to the client sitting in front of us.
And they tend to like that more. You know, so many of the people that have come to see us that were previously in a group, they either got lost in the group or they were too embarrassed or shy to speak up for the most part. So when it's just one-on-one in the office, they're getting our undivided attention.
And working with addicts for 30 years, what I am personally and professionally aware of is that staying clean and sober is kind of like the tip of the iceberg. All the work underneath there is what we're going to be talking about next, which is the wholesome human.
Right, because if you're only dealing with the tip of the iceberg, but you don't deal with what's underneath the water, people become Titanics and they crash and burn, and that's why we think what we've developed is a very unique, out-of-the-box way of working with people. Our goal is to create wholesome human beings. Now, if you hear the word wholesome human being, how do you become more whole? Our definition of a wholesome human being is a man or woman who is in touch with both their masculine essence and their feminine essence within one body. We've gotten away from this in the mental health field. Carl Jung came up with this in the early 1900s. He called the anima and the animus, the masculine and feminine archetype in all humans. Every man, every woman has both inside, like Adam and Eve did before they were split by God. So our goal is to help people become aware of both essences working for them or against them.
We're aware that the addictions, whether it's substance abuse, whether it's gambling, whether it's any other addiction, is coming from the feminine essence. Now, we don't mean gender when we say this. Therefore, since we understand that, what we are developing is the clients that we see to develop a more masculine muscle so that they can fight the urges, the triggers that show up, and also people that are not seeing us for addictions to be able to stick to commitments, stay focused. So we're developing the wholesome human to balance individuals.
And working in as a marriage counselor in the mental health field for 30 plus years, this is my clients love this model as we were introducing it in Highland the last 3 years, because in any given relationship there's a him, a her, and a self inside, and the same thing with my partner. So this tweaks out or teases out who's having the problem. Is it my male side having trouble with her male side? Is it my feminine essence having trouble with her masculine side? And this, we believe, can start to stem the divorce rate, which is at an appalling 50 to 60% rate in this country, whatever you believe. So this isn't just for addicts, but this works especially well for addicts, where they can develop their male muscle, as we call it. Because as a recovering cocaine addict, my feminine essence was insatiable. She couldn't get enough of that. I had to develop a male muscle to fight the urges. And then, after I identified what she was doing for me, I had to sweeten her in other ways. And I haven't used drugs or alcohol in almost 30 years.
So we're doing something different here by identifying the two essences, actually the three, but with our addicts is the two essences. And most of our clients are really understanding that. I work with addicts mostly, and they're really understanding that, when the urge shows up or when they must go to a meeting, it takes that drive, that masculine drive, to make that happen.
Part of the definition of a wholesome human that we support is our value system. And the value system we use came right out of Scripture, emulating our Creator's divine attributes: kindness, compassion, forgiveness, visiting the sick, generosity. These are direct attributes of our Creator. We're made in the image and likeness of our Creator, so we should be emulating our Creator's attributes. What a great value system to buy into, to provide for our children. And that's why we're so excited about this model, because we can start raising children with a lot more consciousness and awareness, and we can create heaven on earth. Just imagine if everybody was practicing kindness, forgiveness, generosity. We wouldn't have that 1% that they keep talking about.
And as you know, as a person that works with addicts and alcoholics or other people, the values of addicts and alcoholics, they get a little turned away because of the addiction. They had values, and the addiction kind of forces them in another direction. This is an excellent starting place for most people to begin to redevelop or reinitiate the values that they had as younger people.
More definition for the wholesome human is mindfulness. Now, the mental health field is really preaching this the last 20 years. Simply put, mindfulness is being aware, of being focused, of being like a laser. And that also comes more from the masculine essence, not the feminine essence. My feminine essence is spinning all the time. So we have different meditative techniques that we teach for the wholesome human to practice a meditation, to become more mindful in their life and aware of what's going on. Look at all the technology and how busy we are, and people are so scatterbrained. When you practice meditation on a regular basis, you're able to be focused a lot of the time.
The other part of our definition of the wholesome human is spirituality. Without spirituality, people are lost. They're just doing their own thing. There's nothing to connect them or anchor them. Bringing Israel to America has brought a new blueprint to spirituality, which we're talking about in the BITA program. It's not about becoming a Jew. Tom and I are Catholic. We're going to die as Catholics. It's just a new blueprint. We saw that in our 2 visits in Israel, and we wanted to bring that back into our program.
Yeah, and what we saw in Jerusalem, especially in the Orthodox communities, where it was a God-centered life. And we've lost this in America, and I think you know what we're talking about. People may say they believe, but when I look at how they live, their values in that, I'm not so sure that's true anymore. The last part of this definition is increasing the human's awareness of the web of life and how we're all interconnected to everything. What I do to Tim or to one person can have a ripple effect throughout all of creation, and through meditative practices and becoming more conscious and aware, it puts a responsibility on me. When I mess up, it's just not me. I can be affecting a whole bunch of people in my life or in a society.
Well, and working with addicts or alcoholics in the criminal justice system, you know that those people that are making those mistakes on a regular basis, it isn't just about their behavior. It's more of a shotgun effect. Everybody that they're close to gets affected by that. So addictions is a very good example of that ripple effect. When somebody gets better, we also see that ripple effect going in the right direction.
Right, and that's why they have to make their amends in that to realize all the damage their addiction did. But the other part of a wholesome human is, instead of a sense of separateness, it brings a sense of oneness. That I'm one, I'm connected to this entire web that I'm living within. So a wholesome human, by definition, is aware of their masculine and feminine essences and has them balanced, hasn't stuffed anybody. They have a value system that was taught to us by our Creator. They're practicing some form of mindfulness. They have a deep spirituality in their life, and they are totally aware of a web of life connection to everything that's going on around them.
And what we also do, we have developed 3 unique groups that are all different. One is a male mentoring group. We do that live in Chesterton, Indiana. People can also take those classes online. We've developed a female relationship group where we're trying to help women to do 2 things: to understand what does a good, wholesome man look like in the world, how does he behave, and also for them to develop more of their masculine essence so they're not so dependent on these men that are disappointing them and hurting them. And then the 3rd group that we do is a couples seminar. It's a full-day seminar where we teach the couples about the balance of the masculine and the feminine and how important that is to keep it balanced.
And the polarity that they have to be mindful of. Our programs are directed to raising the consciousness level in everybody, and it's a very individualized approach. You can come to see Tim and I for a one-on-one session, for a couple session, or be involved in our seminars. And we have other seminars that we do also. They're on our website that are a little more specific to perhaps meeting somebody's spirituality if they're interested in stepping outside their box.
So once again, our website is www.bringingisraeltoamerica.com. Our office is located in Chesterton, Indiana. That office number is 219-728-1217. And of course, you already have my email address because I have sent you this email.
Right. And we're also more than willing and available to come and do presentations on this. We actually just did one for the Dunlin Chamber of Commerce about a month and a half ago, and we hit it out of the park. They were mesmerized by this new model that Tim and I have come up with, from hanging around addicts and regular people that are struggling with life, that are looking for a more meaningful, purposeful life to live.
So if any of these things that we've talked about is piquing your interest, please get a hold of us. We'll be glad to come and meet with you and talk to you more about this in detail.
Yep, and one last piece, our substance abuse program is state certified, so we are part of the state of Indiana, and we can do DUIs and things like that. So anyway, thank you for taking the time for listening to this, and we hope that you're going to contact us and learn more about it, or come and see us yourself.
Thank you.